Hello, welcome to episode 43 of the Zeens and Roger Crochet vlogcast, podcast, chat. How are you? Are you alright? I'm okay. I'm Rosina, crochet designer, all-round crochet enthusiast. Come, make yourself at home. Grab some crochet and listen to me while I blather on about what I've been up to. Which is technically a sort of an average amount of crochet, not like full-on output, but neither has it been dwindling. But what I can show you is not a massive amount. I've spent the last week swatching for secrets, which always seems like a massive chore, because a lot of the things you're working on, a lot of the time you take, will be things that you abandon at some point because they don't work, or you lose interest, or they're just not good enough. So it's always a little bit sort of bittersweet, I suppose, when swatching, I think, which is why I don't enjoy it. When one works, super. When it doesn't, well, that's an hour you'll never get back. But what have I been up to? What have I actually been up to that I can share? A few things. And I'm sorry I'm wearing the same jumper again. I think this is the third time in a row I've worn it, but I'm living in it. Absolutely living in it. I love it. Crocheter, crocheter. Sidetracked. Okay. So actually, after the C2C cal, I needed something that wasn't corner to corner, and I needed something that was nice and easy and relaxing. And as you may know, that's granny stitch. So I've been making a granny blanket. So far it's only this big. It's got a wonk on it slightly, which shouldn't have happened because I'm working starting half of it in this corner and the other half in this corner, which should alleviate the wonk. But holding it up, I can see that there is a slight twist going on. This is King Cole double knit. It's price wise, and it's the leftovers from Havana Nights. I've still got quite a bit left, but as you can see, I'm getting some little small bits which won't do a full round. So when they're all small bits, I'll stop and just have probably a baby blanket, and then several of these that I'll have to do something else with. I did think about making little mini squares and putting them around the outside, therefore making the blanket bigger, but I'm not sure if I like that style, and I'm not sure if this blanket's worth the effort. But I'll keep going just for the it's supposed to be an effortless thing, so why would I make work for myself? It's so weird to see these colours in a granny square when they were a chevron C2C. I think they look completely different. It's weird, but I'm following the exact same colour order, which is great for mindlessness because I don't even have to think about the colour placement. I can just literally use my Havana Nights pattern to follow the order I invented for that. So don't even have to think about colours and where they go. I just read from a list and whack on the next one. I've probably only got about 4 or 5 rows to go before I'm going to run out of quantities. So that's been like one of the only things I've worked on over the last week. Yesterday I started a C2C blanket. The Ziggy, no, what was it called? ZZ Block, not Ziggy. There are 2 on a chart I released. very similar, but I'm going to do ZZ Block, not Ziggy. I've never shown you Ziggy because I've never made it, I just did the chart. I'm here, I've done a corner, and I think I've got, I haven't checked because I can't remember, because I know that I can do a massive corner before I need to start adding colour, but I'm probably at a stage where I've only got a few rows before I add the first colour, and I'd better double check rather than winging it and guessing, because the last time I guessed I went wrong. And I showed you these colours last time. How many have I got? It will be these ones that I add in with the grey. And hopefully it won't take too long, but I'm not rushing this. It's just going to happen as it happens, a few rows at a time. And like I said, I did that yesterday when I went to a creative business meetup in Exeter, because I could do that while I just chatted away and didn't have to worry about the maths, colour changes, or bringing loads with me. I could just take one hook and one ball and listen to what everybody was saying and talk at the same time without worrying about anything. So I did that. So those are the 2 crochet projects that I've been working on in the last 2 weeks. It's not a lot, is it? And they're quite boring things. There's nothing exciting there. Like I said though, I have been swatching for different things and I've been sketching out ideas because it's essentially submission season, and it's taken me this long to realise that it is seasonal. But literally every single call for submission for every single magazine that I've ever submitted to, they've all sent out their emails like in the last fortnight, and I've had to try very hard to resist the call, and I've failed because I have been swatching for designs for the magazines. But I'm being well behaved, sort of, in that I'm not going all out and coming up with like a gazillion ideas. I'm just sort of restricting myself to about 2 per magazine, and some magazines I'm not doing it at all. I've chosen 2 magazines and I'm going to send them 2 ideas. They may or may not accept them, I don't know. And then another 2 magazines I'm not going to do because I haven't got time. Just haven't got the time. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, well, you can see I'm playing with a knitting needle, right? And that's because I've been knitting. Not very much, just like I've done that, okay? This has taken like literally hours because it's really slow. The big chunky needles make it slow. The fact that you have to knit 1 purl 1, knit 1 purl 1, knit 1 purl 1 to do the seed stitch is sort of painstakingly slow, and it makes my shoulder ache. It makes my left shoulder ache to do it. So come on, knitting is it's not selling itself to me, but at least I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean? At least I'm getting that experience that I wanted. And my new skill of the week, of the fortnight, is that I learnt Longtail Cast on. Before I was casting on in a silly way that Nana taught me, and I didn't like it, and it took me a really long time. So I went on YouTube and I looked at some videos and I've learnt the Longtail Cast on, which I have to say it's really good fun. I really liked it. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I don't know, I can't remember now. What do you do? Something like that. Twiddle, twiddle, twiddle. So I've done that. And it's sort of just like, it's practice really. I will be doing a long scarf, but it's just practice. And it's not going any, I want to reassure those that have expressed concern that I'm going to become a knitter. Don't worry, it's not going to happen. I'm just getting myself the background knowledge of basic knitting, because I think it's important, that's all. And the reasons I think it's important, I just want to have an all-round skill set. I want to be experienced, and I want to understand what people are talking about when they're talking about knitting, because I think, I mean, it's a sibling to crochet. They go frequently hand in hand, and so therefore that's what I want to do. Right. It means that, and I haven't started, but I've got my needles. I've got my Garters Ahoy pattern, and I've got some yarn. I haven't started this. I've practiced with the needles, and they are much nicer to use than the big 15mm ones. And this is double knit, I think. And it's, I can't remember what the blend is. It's a different blend to usual in that it's got some acrylic in it, as well as nylon, and then perhaps merino. But it was hand dyed, and I was sent 3 skeins through the Yarn Wishes, and I think it's perfect for the Garters Ahoy shawl. It's going to work really well. I've caked up one. I'm going to start with that, and then I'll probably definitely use a second skein. Whether or not go to the third, I don't know. But this was sent to me by Fog and Pine, who isn't a seller of hand-dyed yarns. She just likes to dye yarn for herself, really, and experiment and play, which I think is brilliant. And this colourway is gorgeous. I think Garters Ahoy will work brilliantly with it. But I'm going to take my time with that. I'm not rushing. I'm just going to try and take it easy and enjoy it. You may notice that I'm wearing some crochet as well. This is called Leaping Waves, and it's a design that I came up with for issue 108 of Inside Crochet magazine, which came out yesterday. It looks like this. That's the issue. And this issue is themed around all things Outlander, which is right up my street. I thought it was great. I had to submit an idea for that. And this is it. It's just it's an infinity scarf cowl type thing. It's wrapped around twice. It's called Leaping Waves because it's got wavy bits. You see the wavy bits? I don't know if you can. I'm sure you can. And I really like it, and I don't want to give it away, but it was going to be a Christmas present for my mum, but I've been wearing it. It's a bit naughty, really. What should I show? What should I? I'm sure there must be something else lying around that she could have, or I could make her another one if I've got time, couldn't I? I'm sure I could find a few hours to sort of squeeze one in somewhere. Anyway, it is alongside some other lovely patterns from the issue. That jumper is an 11 handmade jumper. Linda makes, I don't know her, but she's called Linda. She makes the best jumpers. They're very popular, aren't they? Here it is. It's a bit too high on the neck for me, but I could probably alter that. I really like it. I love the styling of this issue because it's modern Outlander, isn't it? Sort of rustic and earthy and fabulous. Let me show you. Bookmarks would help, wouldn't they? There's all sorts of things in here, all sorts. I also like, let me show you these mitts. I just love the photograph, actually. These are by Ali, who is homemade by, are you called Homemade by Anne? Homemade at My Place, sorry. who we've been friends on Instagram for ages. It's always like when you open up a magazine and you see one of your mates who's got a design in there, it's always really nice and it always puts a smile on your face. Anyway, what do you want to know? This is a cowl, double knit, merino from Blacker, and it's just really nice. It's quite it's a rustic woolly wool without it being itchy and scratchy. It's really soft, but you can feel that it's quite durable and strong. It's called Blacker Swan Falklands Merino, and this shade is Mountain Berry, and it's just lovely, so nice. It's such a nice colour. I called it Leaping Waves because if you look at the lyrics to the theme tune, which is a real like poem by some Scottish fella, or song about, I think it's about Bonnie Prince Charlie. My history is not focused on that area, but there's a line in it, something about leaping waves. So I was like, perfect, because we've got some leaping waves going on here. And that's, yeah, so this is my Outlander. I wanted something, you know, because in Outlander there's loads of gorgeous knitwear and a lot of it's sort of really nice. It just looks so warm and cosy. And in the past I've attempted Outlander stuff before, just like massive cowls that keep you really warm and snug, sort of earthy rustic tones, and woolly wools, things that really are quite sort of, that you blend into the natural landscape and that kind of stuff. But this was sort of needed a modern twist, so without it being too basic or too literally Outlander, you want to twist it and change it about a bit, so it was this. I mean, I would love to make it longer and deeper so that it's like even more. I think that'd be fabulous, but to be honest with you, everyday wear, this is probably a really good size. And yeah, I want to keep it. So this is me. I'm going to wear this when I go foraging. It's so funny. There's this bit in season 1 where I mean, it does quickly take a turn for the worse, but for a little while it's quite amusing, where she goes to sort of go and look for some wee herbs, as they say. And I wrote it in the blurb for, because you always, when you submit the pattern, you also write like a sentence or two, and sometimes they add it and sometimes they don't, and I didn't think they would put it in. I can't flipping find it now. Where is it? They only put it in. It made me laugh. I said it. I wrote it sort of with my tongue firmly in cheek. Okay. I don't want to read it now. Oh well, you get the gist. It's about foraging for wee herbs. Wee herbs. I don't do the accent, but it tickled me to see it in print anyway. But do make one and go and forage for wee herbs, because you'll never know what you'll find. So that's the Inside Crochet magazine. Favourite magazine. Very happy to be in it. Very, very happy to be in it. I made another cowl as well for a different magazine. This is Crochet Now, which is out now. It might have been out for 2 weeks already though, so there's probably only another 2 weeks of it left. The submission brief for this one was Colourful Carousel. And it was all about a load of bright, lovely jazzy colours. And I sort of thought colours like this. Yeah. All the rainbow lovely, rainbow brights. And so I drew a picture. I kept drawing a carousel and drawing like fun fair things. And so it kind of turned itself into a granny stripe cowl. Which, that's a warped picture of my face. That's me wearing it, and that's the model wearing it. I don't know why she's in just a hoodie. It's like they forgot to buy her model clothes. But that's me being mean. I've got a mean streak, I do apologise. Perhaps she just wants to be comfortable, wear a nice cosy cowl and her favourite hoodie. I mean, I'm not exactly dressed up, am I? So it's a granny stripe cowl. The grannies are vertical, and that's sort of supposed to be like, I thought like the big top tents with the inspiration, all the funfair stuff. But I have to say that I think brighter colours would look maybe a bit better, because the colours don't shout funfair at me. And I called it All the Fun of the Fair, and they've changed it to Fun at the Fair because if it's shorter and quicker. But it's named after a musical, which I think there's a song called All the Fun of the Fair. But that's too long to print, isn't it? But I reckon that cowl, you could make that really long and double it up and have it as a massive infinity scarf instead of just the little tiny cowl. Whatever floats your boat, really. It's super versatile, and you could keep going with the striping or whatever for as long as you wanted. Yeah, it's a nice little project to make that. So that's where I am with those magazines. I haven't actually read them properly yet. No, I've looked through the first one because I've had that a couple of weeks, but the one that arrived this morning I haven't had a chance to read yet. So I'll look forward to that. Right, where are we? I said that I would do a giveaway if I hit 5k subscribers. I was probably a couple of hundred away when I said that 2 weeks ago, but it happened. I can't, but I didn't know. I don't really pay attention to the subscribers, so I don't know how quickly they go. So I thought 200, that's loads. That will take weeks, but I've gone over 5k. Did it? So there's a giveaway. I've drawn 2 names, which is fabulous. So the 2 names are chosen completely at random, and we have the Crafty Poppet is the winner of one of my crochet patterns, and Amanda Lee is the winner of a knitted pattern. I'll put the names on the screen, and if you could get in touch in the next 2 weeks, please, I will sort you out with the patterns. It's one of the patterns is the knitted Garters Ahoy shawl by Sandra of Cherry Heart, and the other one is a pattern by me. Amanda gets the knitted one, the Crafty Poppet gets the crochet pattern. If I haven't heard from if you don't get in touch in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to redraw, because I've been waiting around for the C2C Cal winners, and I realise now that actually it kind of plays on your mind when people don't get in touch. But I have to say, with the C2C Cal winners, it's such a kind of like, it wasn't a real episode that I did, so I feel like maybe people haven't watched it yet, and it's only been 1 week. But for some reason it felt like it wasn't like a real podcast episode, and so I'm not expecting everybody to watch it. But if you've taken part in the C2C Cal, go and watch the C2C special. It's like half a normal podcast, vlogcast, and half the end half is where I do all the winners and what's what. I have, and just in case you're wondering, if you know you're a winner, I have only today started writing out addresses and compiling who's getting what and where it's going to go. It's taken me that long. I've been absolutely chocker over the last week or two, and I've been ill. For Saturday, Sunday and Monday I did not want to do anything at all, and actually I didn't do any crochet because I felt too rotten. And I'm still really tired now, but I'm out the other side, so fingers crossed that won't be coming back, because that wasn't pleasant. So it's made me at least 3 days behind on everything, as has just like that general lethargy has meant that I'm much slower doing everything else as well, so I'm behind. I haven't written up Waking Winter yet, and I was supposed to do that really speedily because I'd promised it to a friend of mine who's starting out as a tech editor, and I feel like I've let her down because I haven't sent it to her when I said it would be ready. The same with the jumper. The jumper I was supposed to start, I have not even touched it, and that's half me not having time and half me being too scared to start it because I've never designed. I mean, I made one jumper that's come directly from my head, and it wasn't perfect, and because it wasn't perfect I'm thinking, well, this one won't be either. So it's making me slightly reticent about starting it, even though and also the fact that there are so many options about how to build the jumper. I really need to probably do some reading of the books I've got, which are basically crochet garment books. If I were to just sort of at least even skim through, I might get an idea about how best to construct said jumper. I've got a fair old idea, but I'm being indecisive. No surprise there. But do you know what? I think that's it. That's it. I'm gonna watch this back and go, oh jeez. Or go, oh yeah, that'll do. That'll be alright. Yeah, and then hopefully next week I'll be back on track and try and catch up a bit. I need someone with a whip behind me. Work. Terrible whip noises. That is it, I think. That felt super speedy. Where are we? Oh my gosh, it's Friday today. It's the last day of November. That means December tomorrow. December's just going to fly by. Then it's January. I think I will do another podcast in a fortnight and then take a break until January. I'm not going to worry about doing anything over the Christmas period. We haven't organised Christmas anyway this year, not yet. We are leaving it all to the last minute for various reasons. I just don't, I'm not going to have the time to do any videos or anything over the Christmas period. I think that's fair dues. So I'll be back at some point in January, once the kids go back to school, I reckon. Which I don't think is until the 8th, which is really late. Yeah. So that's me. I hope you're well. And I hope you find some time to crochet. And whatever you get up to. Oh no, I'm coming back in a fortnight. I'm not going to do some sort of Christmas message. Right. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Cheerio, bye bye.